Welcome to the Dojotalkpodcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Look into the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you. Blind ambition.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. We're on episode number 66. I'm back with my co-host Antaku, recording 2 podcasts in 2 days. What's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing, bro?
If I sound a little winded, my coworker let me borrow 1 disc of one of those Insanity DVDs. So I did the 15-minute max this morning at like 8:30. And I'm kind of dying right now. I did that for 15 minutes straight, no breaks. It was brutal. When I got about 6 minutes in, I was dying. But I'm gonna try to stick with this, and I'm gonna try to keep doing it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was rough. But I'm here. I'm still alive. Pretty good weekend. We had some fights go down. But before we get into that, because I've been kind of slacking off on fight news, so I will let you handle fight news and all of that good stuff that has happened this weekend.
All right. So let's start with the shitty news, I guess. Robert Whittakers out of UFC 221. No specifics, but he was ruled medically uncleared to fight with several different types of injuries apparently impeding him. So, yeah, that's not good. Especially when he's like, what, 25, 26?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he was originally out for like a knee, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, so like I don't know what it could be. Like, hopefully it's nothing too bad. But I don't know. I don't even know how this came about, because did they take him to the hospital and like did he get ruled out there, or was it like a checkup, or was it like whatever the reason, he's out of the fight. Good news, Yoel Romero has stepped in to fight Luke Rockhold, so that's the new main event. It's gonna be for the interim middleweight title. So there you go.
You know what though? I won't bash him this time. You know,
at least it's a great fight.
Right,
so.
it's a great fight, and the champ is injured, so I won't complain this time.
Yeah. Max Holloway is set to fight Frank Yeager at UFC 222. When is that? That's March 3rd, I want to say.
Let's confirm. UFC 222. Yep, that is in March 3rd in Nevada. Yep.
All right. And while we're on that card, Brian Caraway is going to fight Cody Stamann, the man with the most unfortunate last name. His name is Flower Penis. Like, come on.
Shout outs to Cody.
We got 3 fights lined up for UFC on Fox 28. Mike Perry versus Max Griffin, Henan Barrow versus Brian Kelleher, and Sarah McMahon versus Marion Renault. They were both on the card already, but they had different opponents. But I think I say McMahon's opponent was supposed to be Tanya Evinger, but Tanya Evinger had to pull out, so they bumped Renault.
Fun main event to wrap.
Fight. Or vice versa. I can't remember who Evinger was supposed to fight. One last bit of UFC fight news. Al Iaquinta versus Paul Felder is targeted or set or in the works, or I'm not even 100% sure the deal is signed, but it's supposed to be set for UFC 223 in Brooklyn. Hopefully, fucking the ticket prices aren't extravagant and some of us normal folk will be able to go to the Barclays to see the fights.
Not have you guys up in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, dude, I got ringside tickets to 2 world title boxing matches for like $60. Well, not ringside, but like way closer than I've ever been for any MMA event. So, if they jack the prices up, I'm gonna be very sad. Um, and over in Bellator, the only bit of fight news I can remember is Patricky Pitbull will fight Derek Campos again in the co-main event of Bellator 194, leaving who will fight Brent Primus up in the air.
How long ago did he win that belt?
June, July.
Man, you guys gotta get it. You guys gotta get this man a fight. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I want to say I feel like he'll most likely get the winner of the Chandler Yamauchi fight, especially if Chandler wins.
Michael Chandler's career is so weird.
Yeah, he's been on this weird streak lately. Well, I mean, I can't say that. Well, yeah, he did have
since
like
he won the title. His career has just been weird.
He has these stretches of greatness, and then he has these other stretches where he's just like
Everything falls apart.
right. So I mean, before the promise loss, he was on a 4-fight win streak. So hopefully he's not in another slump. But yeah, you guys need to get Promise another like. We haven't seen him since then. I feel like nobody. That's why people don't know he's the champ because you guys haven't thrown him out there at all. Like,
Yeah.
I even forget that Promise is undefeated. Like, he's never lost a professional fight. Actually, one bit of news, something that I saw regarding UFC 222. Take this with a grain of salt. I guess there are rumblings that Conor may actually be stripped, and that Khabib versus Tony might actually be for, like, not an interim belt, like that might be for the actual, like, real lightweight title. And that fight could happen potentially in March on that UFC 222 card.
Really?
Yeah, nothing in stone yet, but I just I had the article pulled up like 2 seconds ago.
I saw a rumor too. I thought it was for Brooklyn, but no.
Yeah, so I've heard that might actually, like, that might be a thing. They might be ready to just move on without Conor because I think he's talking about he might not be ready till like September or something like that. And yeah, they're not trying to wait that long. Actually, yeah, I have it. MMA Junkie posted the article, says UFC plans Tony Ferguson, Khabib Nurmagomedov title fight. Conor McGregor would be stripped. And basically the article just says Dana White said on FS, what is this? Oh God, pop up. Yeah, that the promotion is quote unquote working on a fight between interim title holder Ferguson and Khabib. And I guess if that happens, it's gonna end up for being like the actual belt.
Yeah. So I want to say before the Floyd Mayweather fight, I predicted that we would never see Conor again. I'd like to amend that. Conor will never fight another contender again, but in 2020 he'll probably fight GSP. Maybe 2019.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't even say 2020. I would go 2019. To be honest, it might not be a stretch before the end of this year.
I was just saying that because, like, I don't know what GSP's health situation is. So yeah, he likes to err on the safe side. So.
Yeah. Oh, they also said if it doesn't happen at March 3rd, it might happen at that Barclays event.
Well, they need a main event for that. They have how many titles booked up through March already? Like 4 or 5. They're definitely not going to have Cyborg and Nunes main event in Brooklyn. It's probably not happening till June, or International Fight Week. Who knows where they are with T.J. Dillashaw versus Mighty Mouse? Who knows who when Rose and Duane are going to fight again? So it's whatever.
We'll see. I'm definitely keeping tabs on that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of ready for the Conor era to be over.
Yeah.
But So that's pretty much all the news.
Well, we got two more tidbits before we hop off to whatever's next. Just to keep it MMA, Jimmy Smith has officially signed with the UFC. He's going to be doing comments, play by. He's color?
Yeah,
He's going to be doing color for. I want to say he's going to be starting next week at 220. So that's going to be interesting. And John McCarthy is the man who Bellator signed to replace him, as in Big John McCarthy, as in the referee.
I'm interested to see how that goes. And it's weird too because I read that he I don't think he's like retiring from refereeing, but I guess he said that he's not gonna do I guess he won't be in the, well, obviously he can't ref for Bellator. But I guess like he won't be refereeing like big events. He'll just be kind of doing local stuff here and there. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to hear. I mean, I'd imagine he's ref like thousands of fights, so I'm pretty sure he'll know what he's talking about. But it'll be weird.
He was a pro fighter too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just wondering how his delivery is gonna be. Like I don't think I've ever heard him speak like outside the cage. Like I know he's done podcasts and interviews and stuff, but I've never been really interested in seeing his, like, listening to him talk.
Right.
But.
What does a Big John excitement KO voice sound like? Like, what does he even get excited?
So, so John's gonna be doing Big John's gonna be doing color, and they're going to be alternating between Mauro Ranallo and Mike Goldberg for play-by-play. I don't know why that doesn't sound good.
It's up in the air. 'Cause we got us. It sounds weird. I don't know. I would probably prefer him and Mauro, only because like I'm not sure what Big John is gonna sound like, and I think Mauro can do a good job of carrying a card, like commentary wise.
Big John seems like a no nonsense type of dude,
Right?
And like Mike Goldberg, who's like the most cornballiest man of all time. Just I imagine it's gonna be like just like a bunch of like side eye glares from Big John. I can't believe you just said that.
Then we don't know. What if Big John might turn out to be a goofball? Like Big John will be down there just going crazy.
I want to troll Goldie so bad.
I can see Big John trolling because I can't remember what fight it was, but it was like a brief intermission because I think somebody had got like poked in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Big Country. I can't remember. But like he walked up to the dude and he's like, "Do I look pretty?" Like he was using that to ask him like, could he see?
Yeah.
And I was like, I could see Big John doing some. He'll troll every now and again.
He's the one other thing is like I'm trying to think of refs who've made the jump to like the booth in other sports. Like I don't watch football, but I've heard like horror stories about that. Where like, who was the guy's name? He was like one of the most respected NFL referees.
I don't know any of the NFL referees by name.
Yeah, but apparently he jumped into the booth and he was just like straight up terrible, and NBC had to fire him.
Do you remember when Goldie did the NFL for like a week?
And then he got blasted on Twitter, and he cursed out everybody.
Oh man, if you guys have never seen that or didn't know, Goldie, I can't remember what network, but he covered the NFL. I think it was literally for one weekend.
I think it was Fox.
Yeah, probably was Fox. He covered the NFL for like one weekend, and boy, oh boy, it was not good.
and people know it, and it did not go well.
Yeah, he was on Twitter, and yeah, Twitter fingers were flying. Goldie was not having it. Goldie was not having it. Oh,
I'll give Goldie this. The dude makes his reads, man. You gotta get those advertisers in there.
That might have been the only good thing he did that weekend, because he was getting player names wrong. He didn't know what yard line the ball was on. I don't know. I still like Goldie though.
And I get last bit of news. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz has a date. It's set for March 3rd, and Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker is set for March 30th, and that one's gonna have 3 different world titles on the line. So, if you're into heavyweight boxing, March is the month for you.
I want to assume that if Joshua and Wilder win, they fight each other.
I mean, don't make assumptions. That's just a way to get yourself hurt.
Yeah. Oh, did we talk about Rampage and Chael headlining over Lima and Roy?
I mean, I prefer not to.
Okay, we'll leave it alone. Sorry, guys, we just told you that.
I would like to imagine that it's because Rampage is like Twitch game, like his Twitch is just like really popping right now, and just like there's just like a million people who tune in to watch him play. Like I don't even know what the hell Rampage plays.
I had no idea Rampage had a Twitch.
Yeah, he and Demetrius Johnson apparently play each other sometimes.
I have no idea. Oh boy, do I even want to know what a Rampage Twitch?
Dude, apparently it's low key and like he's really like this is the same Rampage who gave out his phone number like way back in the day to just like like to fans and just like we're like, yo, just call me up.
That's wild.
So I don't know. It was actually really sad because he was saying in an interview somewhere like yeah, but like those the Twitch stream people who come and watch me play video games and chill every once in a while, like they're my only real friends.
Yeah.
Like yeah, no. I think that was the same interview where he was talking about like he wished he never fought because he missed like so much of like his family because of fighting because like his sister ended up having kids that he like never got to meet or be around or something like that.
I feel like I would hope if he takes care of himself. I feel like he could have a good life like outside of fighting when he finally decides he's done.
Yeah.
He's a personality. He can make it somewhere.
I mean, I've listened to a Rampage podcast. Just get a microphone and a topic once a week.
just let them roll. Yeah, but them headlining over Roy and Lima kind of hurts. But Bellator going Bellator. What can you do? What can you do?
It sucks because this is part of the reason why nobody cares about any of the Bellator titles. Because they keep doing shit like this.
Yeah, see, every time I want to give Bellator a break, just something like this happens. But
and I get the reasoning, but like if that's the case, have them on 2 different days, you know?
Right. Because like on paper, this is one of the best welterweight fights you're ever gonna see, like in a while. Like on paper, at least.
This is the best fight Bellator can give us right now. Like, I can't think of any fight at middleweight or light heavyweight that they could put together. Maybe Rory versus Gegard, but like this is a close ass number 2.
Right.
You see, Rampage versus Chael should have been the headliner next week because it's Clarke and Gonzalez, and like that card is sad underneath that. It's Syed Awad versus J.J. Ambrose, Kendall Grove versus A.J. Matthews, Tyrell Fortune versus Joe Hernandez. Like, none of those fights are bad in a vacuum, but like Rampage versus Sonnen probably should have headlined that one.
Chad George still fights?
Does he?
Yeah, he is on. I had no idea this man still fights. Oh, he hasn't fought in 2 years. I didn't even know he fought 2 years ago.
Yeah, you gotta make a paycheck, bro.
Yep. So yeah, Bellator going Bellator in 2018. That's not changing. But guess we'll just move along to these fights that went down last night. So last night was UFC. Oh Lord, I lost the page. It was UFC Fight Night 124. How did I use the page? This was headlined by Choi and Jeremy Stevens. I believe this was in St. Louis. Kind of half caught this fight, and actually no, I did not catch this fight in real time. Had to rewatch this morning. I think I fell asleep by the time this main event came on, and I was half watching Black Mirror. But this fight was I think this pretty much lived up to the bill that you could have hoped it would. Two dudes who can throw, two dudes who can kill you at any time with one hit, and yeah, they pretty much they slugged it out, man. This was a really nice main event. Choi to me did really good in the first round. He landed a lot of good leg kicks. I love the combinations he was throwing, where he would throw like the uppercut to the left hook. But Stevens was also throwing leather. I think it was kind of clear in the first round. They definitely like respected each other's power, but they were still both like just landing some really good solid shots. Second round, I think it started to open up a bit more. Choi landed a nice like front kick to the face. He had a nasty, I think it was like a step in elbow that he landed.
Mm-hmm.
But Stevens was also landing some really good shots. I think it was one point where like Choi was, cause he was working the leg kicks a lot, where he had threw a leg kick and he got countered with a really hard straight left that kind of backed him up a little bit. And yeah, these dudes just kind of traded leather. I mean, it wasn't like a slugfest, so to speak. I think it was a kind of like a tactical slugfest. Like they weren't going too wild, but they were definitely landing some really hard shots. And then yeah, Doohoo Choi, I think was it a right hand that caught him first?
The one that crumpled him.
Yeah, the right just kind of he, he just fell, just like sack of potatoes, just dropped to the floor, and the ground and pound that Stevens put on this man was like inhumane. I think it was like an elbow first, and then he he had him, kind of like standing over him, trying to position his legs, and he just throws this just missile of a right, and I thought Choi was gonna be out he pretty much was out after that, but he got blasted with that right on the ground, and you knew it was over. And then he just ate 5, 6 other punches that probably didn't even need to happen, and yeah, Stevens put a stamp on this finish. It was an awesome fight, but Stevens he just got that power, man. Like this dude just bombs in his hands, pretty much.
Yeah. This fight is kind of just like it's kind of been like the trend for like the past year. This whole card really. Like nobody on this card is probably within sniffing distance of a title shot. Maybe like the closest would be Usman, and he probably didn't do himself any favors last night. But this fight was made so Choi could win it. Like they wanted Choi to win this fight so that he would be a contender, and they'd have somebody new for Holloway, and potential Asian champion, like the high hopes. This is the type of matchmaking where the UFC really just shoots himself in the foot, because after this, I rewatched the Swanson fight for like the first time this past week, and rewatching it, like my first thought was, why would they book this fight for him next? Because Jeremy Stevens, despite the fact that he lost to Cub Swanson, fights the exact type of game that Cub Swanson employed to beat the crap out of Choi in their fight, where he forced Choi to move backwards, kind of just stopped respecting his power, even though he hit hard. Because if you can eat it, Choi will be there to be hit. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe he just there's just something in his face that just magnetizes people's hands towards him. But he's ridiculously easy to hit. Like a bunch of like really naked leg kicks, which I thought at first were fine because they were really marking up Stevens' leg. I thought he was going to build off of that, but like Stevens eventually got his timing down, just started stepping in on those kicks and like connecting with those big right hands. like just a great performance from a veteran. And that's really been like the featherweight division over the past year, except for Hanao Moicano and Ortega. Like these these like flashy, exciting featherweight prospects getting put down by guys who are just more experienced. Happened to Bektik. It just happened twice now to Choi. Happened to Rodriguez.
Yeah, about to say the only ones that really passed the test was Emmett. Ortega.
Yeah, and Emmett had to come in overweight to get it done. So
yeah, and the thing is that the fights don't get much easier. Yeah, I was thinking too after. I mean, I'm excited for this matchup obviously because these two dudes can.
Oh yeah, no, like it was a great fight. Like, but just from like the matchmaking standpoint.
Yeah, he probably should have got it like a step down.
Put it like this: his best win is Thiago Tavares.
Right, and yeah, going from Thiago Tavares to fighting the likes of a Cub or Stevens, like it's a big leap.
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't know. He might just not be ready for that upper, you know.
You want to talk about burnout? Good God! Like you go for like he took the year off mostly because he got hurt, but like the Swanson fight to go from the Swanson fight to this, like it kind of worries you because especially like, look what happened to Jason Knight, where he like his very next fight he comes out and he looks like a shell of himself.
Right. Well, I think with Choi though, I feel like he's probably trying to get all these fights in because his mandatory military thing is not too far around the corner.
I mean, this is probably I know he said he has a year, but this is probably the last time we're gonna see him.
Yeah.
Because even if he does get a fight for like May, let's face it, he's probably gonna pull out of it.
Yeah. Because I was thinking in his mindset, I guess, let me get all the fights in that I can and try to set myself up maybe for something good when I come back. Or maybe by miracle even get a title shot before I leave, which was never going to happen. But one can dream.
I mean, I think if Choi had come out here and knocked out Stevens, they probably wouldn't have given him a title shot, but they would give him a eliminator or something like that. You know.
So yeah, that's why I figure he's so active because he's trying to put in all this work before he leaves. For what 2 years, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he's going to come back at 27, 28, so I'm not worried about him falling apart. Kind of worried that World War III might happen.
We won't have MMA anymore.
I mean, we'll still have MMA, but it'll be for, like, radiated meat, like purified water.
Right.
Like, it just won't be for big money.
Let's just hope that Korean Zombie, he got stolen from us for 2 years. He came back and really.
Then he got stolen by the fact that I guess Korean fighters is made out of glass.
Yeah. But I mean, in the moment we got him back, he looked great. So I'd imagine I'd at least hope for Choi. If his service goes well, if he doesn't get any bombs thrown at him, anything crazy. Hopefully he's just chilling behind a desk somewhere. He'll come back. He's definitely not losing his power. He'll still be young. I think he'll be in a good position still when he comes back.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's 25 or whatever. He'll come back before he's 30. He'll be fine, hopefully, and hopefully get some time to recover because, again, these last two fights have just been brutal.
Right. What do you do with Stevens at this point? Because it seems like he's gonna beat all of your younger guys. Most likely, he's gonna beat most of your younger guys.
I mean,
but he's kind of in that weird spot where it's like anybody ranked below him, he probably mops them. But then when you put him around like that top 5, he just, he's in that weird spot. So I'm like, I don't know who do you match him up with next. So you kind of have to give him a name because he's still a name. He's still somebody, but it's like. He's just kind of in that weird space right now.
So the guys coming off of big wins at featherweight now are Ortega, Emmett, Stevens, I guess, and I feel like I'm missing somebody. Let me just make 100% sure. So yeah, so it'd be Ortega, Emmett, Stevens, and Elkins, who we'll get to later. Like Elkins and Stevens have fought before. Maybe you do Josh Emmett.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say because Emmett he leapfrogged like everybody after he knocked out Lamas, but I still think he needs more wins to kind of. And I'm not saying like his win was a fluke or anything, but like I still think you need some more.
this is the dude who lost to Des Green.
Right.
Like not even a few months ago. So like yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. So I need to see some more from him.
So Josh Emmett or if he's I don't know what the timetable is on him, but if Korean Zombie gets healthy, I'd love to see that fight. Apparently, time is no factor for him because he came back and just knocked the shit out of Bermudez. Um, who else is out there? Miles Jury just came off a big win, but I think they trained at the same camp, so no.
Yeah, I feel like those are like the most because I'm pretty sure Ortega's gonna wait for a title shot. I
Yeah,
don't think that fight's gonna
like
happen.
they could. I wouldn't be mad if Magomed Sharapov got the fight, but I don't think Stevens wants that fight.
Nah, Stevens is.
If
I think he's gunning probably for a top guy.
yeah, so
We'll see. He's in a weird space, but I'm not mad at the Emmett fight though. I like the Emmett fight, and if Emmett pulled that off, then I won't question his status anymore. But
yeah,
either way though, great performance from Stevens. Really good fight from Choi too. Just didn't happen to go his way in that second round. But definitely looking forward to see both of these two dudes fight again. So that was pretty much the main event. It lived up to the hype, at least from what I thought it would be. Two dudes who can throw, they threw, and they threw until somebody just couldn't throw anymore. Co-main event: Jessica Rose Clarke and Paige Vanzant. My first thought after about 30 seconds of this fight was like, boy, does Paige, she is in love with this little switch kick that she landed that one time and KO'd somebody, and now she's spamming it relentlessly in hopes that she gets another highlight reel.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this fight wasn't the most like exciting fight ever. I don't think it was a bad fight, but it's kind of yeah. But yeah, I think Rose just kind of won just via pressure.
Being a better fighter.
Yeah, like Paige had good moments. Had a few good moments on the feet, but I felt like Rose just kind of neutralized most of what Paige could do, and it seemed like she was getting the better when they were on the ground. Like even though Jessica didn't, I felt like she didn't do like a ton of damage on the ground. She was just able to control her there, and
Yeah, well, she was really like. If there's anything negative from like Rose Clark's performance, it's just she really just hunted for that arm triangle for the entirety of the time the fight was on the ground and she was on top. Um, like I felt like there were moments where she could have got to mount and landed ground and pound, or like tried to get Paige Van Zandt to like spin to her back so that she'd go for the rear naked choke, but like she shut down a fighter who is more athletically gifted than her, but just and probably more powerful from like a striking perspective, but like nowhere near as technical. Which is kind of similar to her last fight, I guess, like where she beat Beck Rawlings.
yeah,
It was like a
okay.
like there were parts of like Clark's game that I really like when she throws combinations and like finishes with the knee. That's some like really great stuff. She was doing that a lot in the third when she couldn't get Van Zandt down. Don't like the face tattoos.
Yeah, I have no comment. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty just solid performance from Rose Clarke. He just kind of.
Also, shouts to her because her week has been fucking terrible.
Yeah, I heard that it was, but I don't know the specifics of like what happened.
So somebody broke into her house, stole $30,000 worth of stuff, and then murdered her cat.
Oh,
Yeah, so shitty ass week.
yeah, that is oof. Yeah, that's a rough one. But she pulls out the W. I mean, and that's kind of two solid wins in a row. Like, I mean, not the greatest, not like a life-changing performance or anything, but two solid wins over two solid names. So she's slowly moving up. Paige, on the other hand, is like 3-3 in her last 6 or something like that.
Which she's one. Wait 1 second. Yeah, she is 3 and she's 1-3 in her last 4.
Oh, yeah. So on a bit of a slide, and I think I heard that is she not at Alpha Male anymore, or like she?
You did not hear about this. So apparently she's with this team called Burke Camp, and I'm going to send you a link to their website, and you can tell me for yourself what you and share with the audience what you think.
And this is a gym in Portland, I think, right?
Yes. Okay. I believe so. Right, I could be wrong though.
Let's see. Okay? This still picture already is not looking too good. All right, hold on. Let me wait for this to load up. But the thumbnail is already looking a bit. It's looking a little sketchy.
Oh, it's in Oregon City, Oregon.
Okay.
Totally different, I think. I don't know.
Okay, Burt Camp. No, leave me alone, that floor. Okay, we have what is going on in here? This is not an MMA school. If you are interested in the art of Muay Thai, then read on. My goal is to further the art of Muay Thai for God, my country, blah 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 blah. It was built. Okay. Alright, the gym only has 10 likes on Facebook, so
Well, the gym only has 15 students. We allow 15 students, or we are full at this time. If you're interested, please call XYZ or hit the contact tab and email for more information. Thank you.
I mean, you get some personal one-on-one training.
But I want you to go to their Facebook link right below. And hold on, it's one of these pages, or is it this one? Yeah, like there's the video of him hitting pads.
The right cross, left knee.
Okay, yeah, I want you to tell me what's that behind him.
Oh, hold up. Why are you yelling so loud?
So tell me what that is behind him.
Where? On the wall?
No, what behind? Like just behind him in general.
Oh, the old guy or the guy holding the pads?
The old man. That's a
garage door. I didn't notice that. That is definitely a garage door.
So this camp is based out of this man's garage, which is admittedly pretty big, because the rest of the video show. But point being, like,
you left Alpha Male for this?
Well, from what I understand, like, she wasn't getting the attention at Alpha Male she probably should have. But like, still, if you're going to leave one camp for like an elite camp for a smaller camp, probably make sure it's an MMA gym, not run by a Muay Thai guy out of his garage. Yeah. And from what I can understand, he's actually like a decent teacher.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look too bad hitting the pads. He looks.
Yeah, no, like he legit has trained in Thailand. He's I can't remember the name of the U.S. Muay Thai Association or something, but he's like an accredited coach with them, so like he's not bad. But that's probably not the environment Paige Van Zandt needs to be in. Is my point.
And if you're Paige, like I know you made a good amount of money from Dancing with the Stars, you can probably do better.
Do they get paid from Dancing with the Stars, or do they just get on the show and then they get like deals from?
I feel like she had that gotten paid. I feel like she got paid.
Oh, I got another bit of fight news for you. Felice Herrig versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz is in the works for UFC 223.
Oh. Yeah.
I like that fight.
Felice has been Felice is definitely earned that fight because he's been on a hot streak. That's a good one. That would be a huge win for Felice if she gets that. But yeah, Paige, I don't know, but best of luck at the garage gym. We'll see what happens, but solid win for Rose Clarke holding it down over there.
Just real quick, like Paige, like she's not getting any better, like at all. She was away for a year and she looks exactly the same. So
we'll see.
I think we're seeing her ceiling.
I'd like to think there's more, but yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. People can turn around, but I don't know if that gym is going to be the best look, especially since like it's not even an MMA gym. So like I don't know how much more they're really going to improve your game all around, because clearly she needs some groundwork. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird move, but maybe.
Also, all of Paige's weird fans that were messaging with Jessica Rose Clarke over Twitter, you guys are really creepy. Like really, really creepy. Like there was one dude who threatened to go down to Australia and make her suck his dick. I want to say were the words he chose. And they were literally just like messaging her over Twitter.
Half of y'all probably can't even afford the plane ticket. So
I mean, yeah.
y'all gotta stop.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Paige because like her fans are fucking creepy.
Yeah. People are just out of control.
Yeah.
I hope she does well though. Like I hope because I think she's talented, but it's just.
Word is she's looking at going to the WWE. Like she's not looking at. She's interested in. Like there are plenty of ways for Paige Van Zandt to make money. Yeah. Like even without fighting, like she'll be fine.
She'll be good. Shoot, all those fellas go back on Dancing with the Stars. I'm pretty sure they'll take you back.
Dude, you're telling me like the Disney Channel wouldn't pay money to have Paige Van Zandt on one of their TV shows?
Yeah, she'll probably make more than a lot of people outside of fighting. So yeah, Paige will be fine. But good win for Clarke. Solid win, another win on her belt. So I guess moving on to the next fight. I forgot how short this main card was. Thank you for 4 fight. Or was it 5? No, 4. 4 fight main cards. This is the way to go. Next fight, Kamaru Usman, Meek. Pretty anticipated fight. Maybe not the most exciting fight for Usman. I mean, he definitely won, but it wasn't the most eye-pleasing thing in the world. I'll give props to Meek though. Like he lost, but he was still putting up an effort. Like I remember a moment I think during like the third where, and pretty much this fight in a nutshell, if people didn't see it. Usman just managed to just kind of take him down, get some ground and pound, control him on the ground, and just kind of butted him up with some elbows, and that was pretty much the entire. Oh, he had a few good like lift him off the feet slams. I think he had like 2 of those. But like I remember there was one part in the third where like Usman was going for a takedown. He had him against the cage, and Meek just started spamming elbows to the side of his head, just trying to do anything to not get taken down. So I mean, props to Meek. He was trying to put forth an effort, but Usman is kind of dragged him down repeatedly, beat him up over and over. But yeah, it wasn't the most exciting fight in the world, especially considering like the hype Usman has gotten lately. According to him, I guess he was hurt or injured coming into this fight, but he still took the fight anyway. So I mean, he did what he needed to do to get the W. I don't know if this win earns him a contender fight or anything like that, but hey, he got the win. He did what he needed to do, and you know, it kind of just is what it is.
Yeah. Well, there's not really a whole bunch to say, really. Usman is head and shoulders better than 95, 99% of the freaking division. It's just on him to go out there and show it. It sucks, but like Colby Covington can get away with it because whether we like it or not, he makes people cringe when he speaks, and that's something. He's not just like another face in like on the welterweight scene. Till has like monstrous power, and RDA is a former champion moving up, who's out here
Starching
putting
dudes.
starching dudes and putting clean sweeps on like the former Strikeforce and UFC champions. Like, if Usman wants to stand out, if he wants a title fight, if he wants a top 5 contender to have to be able to fight him, he's gonna have to go out there and just not just ragdoll dudes, but put them away. Like, there were parts of this fight where like Usman, his like submission defense was basically, I'm going to hold this position because he's not strong. Well, he's pretty strong, but he's not strong enough to like force the sub. So I'm just gonna hold here until he gets tired and lets me go.
Yeah, because he almost got put in the guillotine like a minute into the, not even a minute, like that very first takedown, and yeah, he just kind of sat there and just kind of chilled out until Meek realized, all right, I'm not gonna get it. But
and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm one of the people who's like enjoyed this. Like I enjoy watching Usman just like ragdoll and like beat people up for 3 rounds. But I also understand that like, especially in modern MMA, where like we are all spoiled with violence on a weekly basis, like this type of performance just isn't gonna cut it anymore. And then like you go out there and you say I'm only at 30%. Like, I only use 30% of what I have. Like, come on, man. That's not what people want to hear when you're getting booed. Just be like, I'll do better next time. Just something. Give them something to want to see you do better.
And yeah, it's not like it wasn't like I saw a lot of people trash this fight. I didn't think it was bad. It's just a dude, somebody of his talent, you want to see a little bit more, especially because, you know, like you said, he's gunning for a title shot, and the people ahead of him, like,
just won't fight him.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to, if you want that title shot or a contender fight, you're gonna have to go in there and like knock somebody's heads off, or even if you do a performance like this where you just kind of ragdoll somebody, at least when you get them on the ground, man, you got to pull a Habib and just like get them on the ground and just punish them, like just.
But yeah, if he had gone out there, and he did to an extent, but if he had just gone out there, got the takedown, and then spent the 10 minutes that he was on top, pounding on Meek or Mech, I don't think it would have been like half as bad as like the reception to the fight. There's a difference between you didn't try to put him away and like you tried, but he's just really tough.
Because, I mean, yeah, he had that one moment where he was landing the elbows, he blooded him up. It's like, if you just would have had some more of that, it would have been the win would have had a bit more, like, oomph on it. But it was just kind of like, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, nonetheless, still another win. He's still a dangerous dude. Yeah, but I don't know if this fight gets him a big fight like he wants. But, you know, we'll see what happens.
Maybe it's good enough to get him Magni, or like
that's
when these dudes coming off a loss, but it's not gonna get him Wonder Boy. It's not gonna get him Till.
Yeah. I mean,
probably isn't gonna.
I wouldn't be mad at the Magni fight if that does happen. That's something. That's something. oddly enough, somehow Magni would find a way to win that fight.
That's no. I think Magni gets like steamrolled.
Yeah. See,
But
Magni's one of them dudes, man. He's sneaky, man.
he's sneaky, but like he's sneaky against like guys who aren't top 10 quality and guys who are on the way out, like Hector Lombard, Johnny Hendricks, Carlos Condit. Like, and then like his one really good win at welterweight is Gastelum, which fair. That's actually a really good performance,
yeah.
but I don't think he's taking Usman down.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, if that fight got announced tomorrow, I'm definitely betting on Usman. But somehow, if Magni won, I wouldn't be surprised. Somehow I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I wouldn't mind to see if they book that. I think that would be a fight that Usman could show really what he's capable of doing. But we'll see. We'll see. And
if RDA was able to just like throw Magni to the ground, can you imagine what Usman would do?
We got some suplexes coming. we got some mean German suplexes coming. I mean, props to Meek too. Like he's a really tough dude. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. He'll be good for some entertaining scraps. But yeah, we'll see. Not the best performance or most exciting performance from Usman, but it is what it is. And rounding out the main card, and boy, am I glad this fight got bumped to the to the main card. It was so worth it. Darren Elkins and Michael Johnson.
The real comeback hit.
Right. And Michael Johnson. First, I'll say before we even talk about the fight, Johnson didn't look bad at 45. Like, I mean, he did look really small. Like, I know he's not really a big dude anyway, but I didn't think like he looked deathly or anything. Like, like he was about to just, you know.
Like, you know what he looked like to me? He looked like one of those like African distance runners. Like I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just because I've seen him so much, but like something was like offsetting about how like thin and like lean he looked.
He did look. I thought it was he looked small, but I didn't think he looked like he was gonna die. But it looks like he shouldn't. I don't know. But then like the way he fought also, like I feel like his gas tank was okay. He looked really good in the first round. He was this fight was such a Michael Johnson fight. Like first round, man, he's landing bombs. He's clearly the faster. Excuse me, clearly sharper on the feet. He's beating Elkins to the punch. He rocked Elkins probably a good like 2 or 3 times, and it looked like Johnson was on his way. Like if he wasn't gonna get a finish, he was probably gonna just get a decision where he was just clearly like the faster and sharper dude, and Elkins just, he as tough as he is, just wasn't gonna be able to hang with Johnson on the feet. But Elkins did the smart thing in the second round. If you're piecing me up on the feet, we're just gonna take this to the ground. And he takes Johnson down. They get into this little scramble. Elkins ends up on Johnson's back, and he gets a rear naked choke. And once again, Elkins pulls off another comeback in a fight that he was definitely losing. And this makes it 6 straight.
Yep.
And I mean, just to throw it out there, so you got Robert Whiteford, Chaz Skelly, Pepe, Masad Bektik, Dennis Bermudez, Michael Johnson. That's a pretty solid 6. Like especially those last 3. Like,
dude, if anybody else in this division had that run, they'd be getting a title
right.
shot. But this is Darren Elkins.
Oh god, I click on the page, I see the damage tattoo. Jesus Christ. But yeah.
See, that's why he's the damage and not the damager.
But yeah, man, that's a good run, man. That's an impressive last 6. And
you don't know when I knew Michael Johnson wasn't gonna win this fight? When Darren Elkins was starting to throw those like ugly overhands that weren't really like overhands. They were like, I'm going to show you the right hand over the top, but what I'm really going to be looking for is like a knee tap. But he never bothered to like actually bend down for the knee tap, so he was literally just like chucking these ugly overhand rights, and they were like kind of catching Johnson on the chin. And to his credit, he didn't land a bunch of them, but he landed enough where I'm like, okay, Johnson's slowing down, and he's gonna get taken down eventually.
Yeah, it was, and he got that takedown pretty easy. Like,
oh God,
he
yeah.
didn't even have to work for that takedown at all. Boy, yeah, man, Elkins going Elkins. Like, as much punishment as he took in the first, yeah, this dude, he's another one of those zombie dudes, man. Like, he doesn't really go away. You really.
Oh. So how hard do you think Chad Mendes hits?
Right. That he like. God, I miss watching that dude fight, man. Where is he at? Isn't his suspension up soon?
July.
God, we gotta get him back in here, man. I miss watching him fight. Yeah, the fact that Chad put hands on him like that, and I mean, because Johnson was landing some good hits, some clean hits, but
Johnson was, when he was at lightweight, he was legitimately like one of the harder hitters in the division. He just only had power for like a round.
and oh boy, yeah. Darren Elkins, man, he's out here in these streets.
Darren Elkins literally has to beat every other featherweight just to get a glance at the title.
He's gonna have to hit one of those cups once. No, he really is on one of those runs. Cause remember, like Cub had that run where he was a Cub. Somebody else I feel like had a run where they hit like 6 straight or something like that.
Yeah, it was Cub.
Yeah. So
and then he had to fight Frankie Edgar for a title.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, when you fight Frankie, what happens?
See, my comparison was Darren Elkins is like John Fitch if John Fitch was a fun fighter.
Oh man, shout out to Elkins. I'm not gonna lie, like back probably like a couple years ago, I was not I did not like watching him fight at all.
Now he's the
now
best.
He's just like, now I'm just waiting for him to pull a comeback. And I do think though
he is never out of the fight.
You're right, and I think his time at Alpha Male has done him some good. Like, clearly whatever he's been doing since he's been there has been working. I don't know if they want you to keep winning by comeback. I don't know if that's a strategy you want to keep employing, but hey, what do I know?
You gotta stick with the gimmick,
right. Man. It's working, man. 6 straight, 2 straight finishes.
You know what the funniest part about this is? I think Elkins could get him a title shot, but he's gonna have to meme his way to it. Just like when he got the damage tattoo. So like, just every time you win a big fight, just get another ugly ass tattoo.
Oh no! Yeah, you're
just start like get like a face tattoo, and it's just like you're already bleeding at the beginning of the fight. It's just like a blood tattoo.
You should do a tattoo on
on
his head, and for every fight you win, you grow the tattoo until it covers your entire face.
Until your face is just red all the time.
We'll see, man. I am interested to see what his next matchup is going to be, because like these are some legit wins that he has. So I'm really interested to see who they pair him up with next. Like, are they going to give him a name, or are they going to toss him by the wayside and give him somebody he just probably has no business fighting? But we'll
I mean, Darren Elkins versus Diego Sanchez.
No, Lord.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's another name I forgot to put on my 2018 list that I just don't want to. I don't want to see any more Diego fights, man. I think I've had enough of Diego for the last decade or so. But hey, if they make that fight, you know, it is what it is. As for Michael Johnson, great first round. You look solid at 45, you know, for a good 5 minutes, and then I don't know, man.
He is a 1-round fighter.
he's another one of those dudes, man. Like he has some good wins, and then he also has some losses that just kind of make you scratch your head. And it's
I saw it put best on Twitter. Michael Johnson's not so much a great fighter as he is a good fighter who has flashes of brilliance.
yeah, that's about right.
Like the Poirier fight. Well, the Ferguson fight's weird because Ferguson broke his freaking arm, so that kind of throws a little wrench into that. But it's still great win.
He beat Barboza. He folded
You see, the Barboza fight is so bizarre to me because it's nothing like how he normally fights.
I wonder is he does he fight down I don't know. I don't get it. Does he fight like down to the level of his I don't know. I can't explain him.
Like,
he is a weird
He's 1-5 in his last 6, but like he arguably won the Dariush fight. He literally won exactly the first half of the Diaz fight, which people forget. Like he won literally the first 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the fight, and then lost the last half.
And I will say that's kind of a product of this division as a whole, but he all of his fights have been like quality opponents. Like he hasn't had many, quote unquote gimme fights. So
Yeah.
all of his fights, win or lose, have been against like top level dudes. Like even if they're outside of the top 15, but yeah, his career is it's weird. It's
Like his career is just being a B-side. Like I hate to say it, but like he's like Roberto Guerrero. Like he is there to make your A-side fighter, to test them and to make them look good, I guess. Like there's no shame in getting in a brawl with Gaethje and losing.
Right.
Like there's no shame in winning like 3 minutes against Khabib and then just getting your freaking shit pushed in for like the last 2.5 rounds. Because that's just how Khabib fights.
Right.
Like there's no shame in losing to Nate Diaz down the stretch because he's like an insanely like conditioned athlete whose reach contributes to like how much energy you have to put into the fight just to land your combinations. And like we said, he arguably won the Dariush fight. So like 1-5 is a very this loss is the most damning, I guess.
Yeah, cause it almost looked like when he got in the choke, like I ain't gonna say he didn't fight it back, but I felt like he kind of like accepted it. Like I don't know. Yeah, his career he's another one of those dudes. When you look at his record, it's puzzling. Like a lot of these losses should have probably been wins. Some of the wins, you're like, how did he beat this person? Like he's got big names on his resume that he's beaten, but then I don't know.
Like this dude lost to Reza Madadi and Paul Sass,
But beat
like
Tony Ferguson
and Dustin Poirier.
Right.
Like
knocked Poirier out cold. Like yeah, he's a weird case, but nonetheless, Darren Elkins out here being the GOAT on the low. So, shout outs to him. Another great comeback win, another notch on the belt. And that was all of the main card. Some of these prelims I won't have much to say. I think I watched every fight at least once except for Mads Burnell, but that's the last fight we even mentioned.
I mean, it's not even worth bringing it up, to be honest with you.
So we'll quickly kind of just go through some of these. James Krause and Alex White. Pretty much I remember from this fight. Alex White did really good on the feet. A lot of like blitzing combos, but Krause would just kind of take him down once he was getting tagged too much, and that's kind of how that fight went. Still don't understand how Krause makes 155, but
he's insane.
But yeah, it was a fun fight though. Like there was some fun moments. It was a good scrap, but Krause just kind of anytime it was going too bad on the feet, Cross would take him down, and that's just kind of how that fight went. And he won a unanimous decision. Marco Polo Reyes and Matt Frivola. I don't remember this fight in its entirety, but boy, oh boy, Marco Polo folded poor Matt. like, like he unloaded on this man, and his face, his whole body just contorted, and he just hit the ground, and it was. What was that fight of the year that Marco was in the other, like a year or two ago?
Oh God, I know what you're talking about.
God, I can't remember that fight.
1 second. Here it is. Daniel Kim.
Okay, yeah.
Maestro.
Yeah. So like, if you've watched any of Marco's fights, like dude can slug, like win or lose, he can throw hands, and he definitely threw hands. And Matt learned the hard way that this might not be a guy you want to brawl with, because it might not end too well for you. And yeah, he found his way on the wrong side of a highlight reel, but good win for Marco.
Who's now like 4-1 in the UFC, by the way?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
on the
it's really weird.
On the low, on the low, and I think most of his wins have been finishes.
Yeah, all but one of them,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, but that's just kind of how he fights. Like, dude, just he just throws. So good. That was a really beast knockout. If you guys missed the card, definitely go watch that one.
Yeah.
Irene Aldana and Talita Bernardo. This was the fight I briefly skimmed through before we started recording. Yeah, Aldana just kind of put it on her. I mean, Toledo had moments. I think she had got like a takedown in the first and managed to get top control for a little bit. But Aldana pretty much had control of that fight from beginning to end.
Toledo won the second round because she got Aldana down and basically had her on her back for 3 minutes. Yeah. So, like, she lost, but she had a round on the scorecard. I don't know what it is about Rene's game, but like, it feels like she's always on the cusp of losing. And she's way too good to fight like that. And I don't understand what it is. Like, she's not even like, she showed it here. She doesn't have bad takedown defense. She's a little too hittable, but like, she doesn't get out. She doesn't get like outstruck by like ridiculous amounts when she loses, except against Evinger. But like, that was just a bizarre case. So, like, I would have to go back and like rewatch all of her fights to figure out like why it feels like that. Like, she's always one step away from losing the fight.
She had a really good first round though. She's piecing her up in the first.
Oh yeah, no, she broke her. She like broke Bernardo's face.
Yeah, she was slugging in the first. But yeah, solid win for her. She had good, like, solid moments that showed like good potential, but you know, always room for improvement. But solid win nonetheless. This next fight, I'm really hurt that I did not get a chance to see this because I was actually looking forward to this. Kyung Ho Kang and Guido Canetti. For those who don't know, Kyung Ho Kang has been on how long is this break? 3 years? Something like that?
3 years,
yeah,
I think.
Hasn't fought in 3 years. Comes back, wins by triangle choke. I only saw the highlight. I'm really hurt. I did not get a chance to catch this fight because this was the one prelim I was looking forward to because I wanted to see how he would look after this long break. And he's triangling dudes, so I guess you can go into more detail because you caught this one, didn't you?
Yeah, Kyung Ho Kang returns from required conscription into the South Korean military because again they're technically still at war, so that's a thing. Comes back, gets beat up for like 4 minutes of the fight. Canetti was really putting it on him. For those who don't know, Canetti was like the one dude before Wait, let me just get this right. Oh, no, he wasn't. Who the hell am I thinking of then? Cane's the dude who bounced Hugo Viana from the UFC. So I have that against him. Because I like Viana. But he beat the crap out of Kang up until Kang. I want to say he went for like a lateral drop or something, but Kang ended up on top, got mount, got the triangle. Kennedy spun around so that Kang was on his back, picked him up, slammed him, and then proceeded to get tapped. Proceeded to tap out with like 10 seconds left in the round. So, yeah, like he looked good till he lost. So. Also, Kennedy is coming off of a suspension himself. I think he hasn't fought in like 3 years, or 2 or 3 years, because he tested positive for something.
Speaking of, I do not remember her name. Did you hear about the fighter who got suspended like 2 years from USADA, and it was before her debut?
Amanda Ribas.
Yeah. So they do two. Was that her first offense? You got 2 years off of first?
Yes. That's what happens when you don't have really good management.
Jesus. I was like that. I mean, I get it. You tested positive, you got to be punished. I was like 2 years. That's a lot just for.
I think it was the substance you tested for.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong though. I don't understand USADA's rules. Like John Jones is probably going to be fighting this year.
Right. I have been hearing about that. I've been meaning to watch the podcast with Nowitzki and Rogan to see what craziness Nowitzki's talking about.
See, I would, but I don't think I could take 2 hours of Joe Rogan, unfiltered Joe Rogan.
His Woodley. I gotta finish watching this podcast he did with Tyron Woodley. I was actually enjoying that one, but I had to cut it short for something. But yeah, this USADA's weird, man. USADA's been a weird. It's just been a weird thing since it's been in the sport. Like, albeit, it's done some good. It's caught some people who are, popping, taking things they had no business testing for. But, yeah, on the other hand, some of the rules are just kind of like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. USADA just weird. But, last 3 fights on the card, Jessica I earned a split decision over Kalindra Faria. Kind of mad that I watched this fight like twice and I still don't remember it all that much.
Faria beat the crap out of I on the feet, and then I got her down in the last 2 rounds to steal it.
Oh yeah, she ate the head kick in the first. Yeah. Yeah, Kalindra.
And then they spent like the last 4 minutes of the round on like 50-50.
Right.
Going for like these really bad heel hooks.
Leg locks and heel hooks. Yeah, that was a bizarre first round, but that was a nasty head kick. But I ate it like.
Can we talk about how weird Jessica I's UFC stint has been, really quick? Because this is her first win since like 2014 or something. Like when her literal only other win in the UFC is when she punched Leslie Smith in the ear and it exploded. That's only because her first win against Sarah Kaufman didn't count because she got caught with weed brownies or something. And then she threatened to sue the journalist who came out with the story because she didn't know. And then she wasn't suspended. But they overturned the fight decision.
Oh no. Madness. I didn't realize she lost that much. Jesus.
Dude, she's like 2-6 or 2-5 or something.
Hopefully life at flyweight treats her better. But yeah, she eked this one out. She definitely had to work for this W. It was not an easy going. These next two I can't really comment much on. JJ Aldridge got a unanimous decision over Danielle Taylor. I kind of was like half watching this fight. Just remember a lot of bouncing around from Taylor. I don't remember anybody landing much of like significance. Just Aldridge just kind of working more.
Aldridge landed like a bit. Like it wasn't like the crazy stuff like we've seen from her before, where she was just poor on pressure. But she was landing really solidly towards the end of the fight. Like, I think she actually she managed to swell up Taylor's face. My favorite part of the fight, though, was like at the end of the second in the corner. Taylor's corner was begging her to throw anything, and then she goes out there and she throws nothing.
Yeah, watching her fight is kind of frustrating sometimes because, like, I mean, she's like 5'2", but like she hits really hard. Like I've seen her land bombs on people, and it's like you should be out here on some John Dotson. Like you should be taking some souls. But yeah, a lot of her fights just seem to be like a lot of movement, but not a lot of substance really going on.
Like she is John Dotson, but is like unfortunately fighting in the women's 115 division where her power doesn't carry as much. Like it takes a little bit more to knock these girls out.
Yeah.
So
She'd almost, I don't know if the UFC ever had an atomweight division.
I'm not even sure she could make it, to be honest with you, because she is fucking like jacked.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
The world's shortest, most jacked CO ever.
I forgot that she is a CO. Oh man, but shout outs to Aldridge. She's what 2-0. She's coming over from Invicta.
2-1, because she lost to Juliana Lima.
Okay, still solid though. Since coming over from Invicta, still holding it down. So shout outs to her. Oh yeah, that fight with who was that? What was the Asian? Chan? What was her name?
Shenmi Jin.
That was a fun fight.
John. Yeah.
Hope they bring her back. I enjoyed that fight. But so yeah, solid win for JJ. And this last fight didn't see it all, but Mads Burnell defeated Mike Santiago via unanimous decision. Yeah, so congrats to Mads, but I don't know how he won. I don't know what happened. Did not get a chance to watch that fight at all.
He came in 4 pounds overweight, and the other guy got tired.
That's all, folks. Hey, it is what it is, I guess. But now overall, it's kind of hard for me to judge this card because I didn't see a lot of it in real time.
You know, I'll judge this card a little bit more harshly because, like, these Fox this happened on Sunday because the football games were yesterday or something, or I don't know anything about football.
Yeah, playoffs were won yesterday.
Yeah, so the whole point of this was to get people to tune in afterwards to see like this big star being made. Like last year it was going to be Yair Rodriguez. The year before it was Cruz and Dillashaw, and I think they were intending for that to really bump up their visibility, and it did to the extent like Cruz and Dillashaw are way bigger stars than they were before that fight. Who else? The year before that, I think it was like Uriah Hall, if I'm not mistaken. But point being, that like the whole point of these cards is to make stars. And I was kind of confused by who they chose to go with on this card, because like Choi hadn't fought over a year. In a year, he's going to be gone for 2 years. And you give him a guy who realistically could beat him. Not just realistically could beat him, but like could beat him bad. Like he ended up doing that. So like Jeremy Stevens is now the guy who comes away with the shine. Like they intended to have Vitor Belfort versus Uriah Hall in the co-main event, which was just kind of weird. Because like I like Hall, but I think it's safe to say he's never going to be a title contender at middleweight.
Yeah.
Unless everybody else just kind of falls off. Like Paige Vanzant versus Jessica Rose Clarke. That one makes a little bit more sense. I think they thought Paige would handle Rose Clarke because Rose Clarke is like a lot like Beck Rawlings, so she's not a great athlete. Kind of relies on a little bit like on just being a little bigger or longer than her opponent sometimes. But They kind of well, Paige VanZant doesn't walk away looking good, I
I was
guess.
gonna say, I mean, that was a winnable fight for Paige, and she just, it just kind of didn't go her way.
Yeah, and the original opener for this card was supposed to be what's it called? What was the fight we talked about already? What? Well, see, God, what was the fight after Johnson?
Oh, White and after
Usman and Meek and Meek. Usman and Meek. And honestly, if I'm them, like, I don't know why I make that fight because Meek seems like Meek is just one of those big dudes who can fight his way out of things. So unless they thought like Meek was going to come in here, that Usman was going to come in here and like try and knock him out, like this was exactly the fight that was going to always happen. Just based on like how these two match up stylistically beforehand, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really get what the idea was behind this card in terms of like building the next big star. But so I had to judge this one a little bit more critically, like, because this is a big spot. Like FS1 after like two of the most televised sporting events in like the U.S. And you're getting a little bit of like play over on Fox. Like I'm sure they ran a commercial for this card or something, or at least brought up the fact that was happening.
All right.
But like, do you think anybody walks away with this card like thinking, "Oh my God, I have to tune in to see that guy fight again"? Like, I hate to say it. I hate to say it for Stevens, but like, the book is kind of written on Stevens. Like, if you are somebody with a cursory knowledge of MMA and you've watched the UFC, you know who Stevens is. Like, you've seen him lose to all the big guys, like the big stars already. Like, you're not exactly excited to see him fight Max Holloway again. So
Darren Elkins was the star.
Darren Elkins.
That's the name you guys got to get behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Root for the tattoo.
just Elkins should just embrace the tattoo. Get more. Get small damage ones, like just surround the giant one every time he wins.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this card was kind of like it. The main card to me was like the main event to me lived up, so I was happy with that. The Elkins fight was awesome just because of how it played out. Yeah, like this card wasn't like amazing. It wasn't terrible. There were good moments, but the rest of it was just kind of like it was kind of there. Like it was solid, but nothing really like write home about.
Like this entire card is just made up of like really good undercard fights.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like yeah, no, like Crowless versus White. If you saw that on like a pay-per-view prelim, you'd be like, yeah, that's a really good fight. Like here, it's like the featured prelim.
Right.
Like if you saw Usman versus Meek as like it was intended to be on what was it, to 219 card or the Fox card, or I can't remember where they were originally supposed to fight. Like that was supposed to be the featured prelim. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good featured prelim, but no, it's on the main card here. Like Vanzant versus Clarke as a like FS1 opener. That's a good opener. No, like it's the co-main event here. Like it's just a card made up of really good undercard fights.
Yeah, it was kind of
yeah.
That's pretty much all I can say. It was just kind of but yeah, I mean it is what it is. It was a decent card. There were a few highlights that are worth going back and watching if you guys didn't catch the card. Definitely watch the main event. Definitely watch the Elkins fight. Watch Marco Polo Reyes fool that poor gentleman. But But yeah, not too much to write home about. But either way, that was the card. Only storylines really I've seen afterwards is Stevens called out Ortega, but I don't think Ortega's gonna bite, and Elkins wants a number one contender fight.
Usman wants Covington.
Yeah, he's been wanting Covington forever. So yeah, that chase continues. But yeah, other than that, not really too much to pull from this card, but it was just decent. It was cool.
I feel safe saying that Invicta 27 was the best MMA card of the weekend.
I'll probably have to say that by default because I didn't catch LFA in its entire. Really, I didn't catch it all. I just saw highlights. But yeah, the Invicta card was actually really dope. Pretty much like from top to bottom. Shout out to Fight Pass. I have it for a couple more days. That was how I was even able to watch that card. Yeah, that card really has some pretty good performances. Next card though, we should hopefully leave feeling a lot what's the word I'm looking for?
Fulfilled,
satisfied, and any of those synonyms.
Can we talk about how crazy next weekend is? Like not just speaking on the UFC 220, but Bellator 192, or is it 191?
That is. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. I want to say it's 192, but don't quote me. Yeah, it is 192.
There's that, and then there's Errol Spence versus Peterson, all in the same night.
Jesus. What time does the Bellator card start? Oh man.
9 o'clock.
I'm gonna. That sucks. Cause I'm pretty sure I'm going to a fight party for the UFC fight, so I'm probably gonna miss. I wanted to see this Roy fight. I'm probably gonna miss this.
If you got the Bellator app, you can always stream it on your phone, but worst come to worst, they always put it up like the day after on their website.
I always forget that they do that. Actually, you know what? I might have to stream it on my phone. I completely forgot about the Spence fight too.
Yeah.
So yeah, next weekend should be dope. Like a lot of good stuff going down next weekend.
There's a one championship card.
Who's headlining that one? I'm pretty sure it's two women, right?
Yeah, they're fighting for the strawweight title, which is actually the 125-pound title. Tiffany Te'o and who was this other girl? I just had her name up in front of me. Jingnang Xiong. God, I butchered that. They're fighting in the morning on a card called Kings of Courage, despite being the headliners. I don't know why they didn't call it Queens of Courage.
I like how one still gives their pay-per-views like title names.
Well, it's always blank of something. Like insert like I don't even know how to describe it really. Like Kingdom of Lions or something.
Right. Pretty much. Who else is on this card? Vitali, Big Dosh. Pretty sure I've seen him before.
He was the champion, wasn't he? He's the middleweight champion. Or what's his face?
For Lasang.
Yeah.
So yeah, next weekend should be pretty awesome. We're doing pretty good on time. So I guess real quick before we wrap it up, Stipe and Ngannou predictions before lock them in, have it official. Who are we rolling with?
I'm gonna go with Gano and DC.
I'm gonna go Francis. I'm being troll. I'm gonna troll and go Vulcan.
we honestly don't know how good Vulcan really is yet.
Yeah, we don't really get to see like much of what else he can do, and I feel bad. I don't want to hold Bellator fights against him. Those were way back when. So I'm gonna troll and say Vulcan TKO.
I mean, it's possible.
And yeah, I got this KO in the. I'm gonna say KO.
You know what's gonna be whoever misses first in that heavyweight fight's gonna lose.
Yep. They're gonna get countered, and this is gonna be bad. It is going to be bad. Who you got in Rory and Lima?
I'm gonna ride with Lima because I'm still not sure how Rory deals with getting punched in the face. Because for all we know, his nose is still fucked up.
Yeah. See, the thing that scares me about Lima is I feel like Rory might be able to get him down, but Lima is also one of those dudes that even when he is backed against the cage, somehow he's even more dangerous. So, yeah, that's a hard one. But I'm a big Lima fan. I like Rory too, but I'm gonna go Lima. But it's gonna be a tough fight. That's gonna be a tough fight. But I'm gonna go Lima.
If Lima wins, he has a claim to being the best welterweight on the planet.
Right.
Like a really solid claim because Tyron Woodley couldn't beat Rory McDonald. So
we'll see. Lima's that dude though. I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out on the feet if they decide to stay on the feet. But I feel like Rory's gonna.
Like Rory's almost definitely going to shoot for a takedown.
Yeah. So we'll see. That should be a really good fight. That'll be an interesting card as a whole to watch. Not too crazy about that main event, but whatever. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the show. That was the card, all the news and things that have happened this weekend. So I guess about time for parting shots and shout outs. I was trying to think of one this whole show. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are somehow in the AFC Championship in 2018 playing the Patriots. Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime, but that's going to be a thing. They beat the Steelers 45-42. Thank you, Blake Bortles, for being a good quarterback. The year after, I drafted you on my fantasy team. Now you decide that you want to be good, so whatever. But shout outs to them. Organization finals like winning. Shout outs to the Invicta 27 card as a whole. Still need to go back and watch the Sarah Kaufman fight. I saw like the first round. She was throwing punches and a lot of knees. And then by the time I woke back up after I fell asleep, the fight was over. But there was some good performances on that card. Vanessa Porto got a submission. It was a good card. Like all around, it was a good card. Like pretty much every fight delivered. So shout out to Invicta. And once again, by the time you guys hear this, it'll be up. But shout outs once again to Jose Shorty Torres for joining us for an interview yesterday. So by the time you guys hear this episode, that episode should already be up. Shout outs to him for being a great guest. That was an awesome interview. And best of luck to him and his fight coming up next month. And yeah, that's about it. All about that.
Shouts to Sarah Kaufman, who should still be in the UFC. She really good, solid performance in the main event at Invicta 27. And shouts to Amanda Serrano, 5-division world boxing champion, who is making the jump to MMA. She's probably like the best, like out of like all the women who we've seen jump from boxing to MMA. She's probably the best pure athlete. She's signed with Combate Americas, who I don't think are on Fight Pass anymore. I think they're like NBC Sports or something. But yeah, no, like if you're looking for somebody who could eventually be like the person to run away with the flyweight division or something like that, it'd probably be her. Like she's training with well, she's not training with, but like Miesha Tate's like managing her career apparently, and I don't know how good a manager Miesha Tate is, but she works with like a lot of really good women in the sport. So I'm assuming her training's going well. Like she can get her some good partners, get her some good looks. So shout.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Misha probably knows what she's. I would hope she probably knows how to handle it.
She's also having a kid. Who knows where her mind is at?
Yeah. We'll see.
As long as she's not her corner woman, I think she'll be. I will never get over freaking her telling Brian Caraway to coast against Takeo Mizukaki.
Oh man, we'll see. Well, I would hope that with Serrano's experience already, like even if it's not MMA, just fighting in general, she would know that's not it's not advice you should probably follow.
Yeah.
Coasting's not gonna. We've seen how that can end. Coasting good. You thought you won the fight, and then you coasted, and then those scorecards come up, and yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all for today. It's been a good weekend. We've recorded 2 podcasts in 2 days. So
I feel like that's part of the course for you.
It is. Well, I mean, the Jose interview just kind of got sprung, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to say no. I can't say no to this. So, you know, it is what it is. So you guys will have plenty of content coming. Music will probably slow down. haven't been to too many releases yet. I mean, 2018 is still early, so not too many albums, or at least new ones coming out as of late. But still, plenty of content still. Hopefully looking to do some more interviews this year. I think the Jose thing was a good look. Hopefully that can lead to some more interviews in the future. But
I want to interview somebody who's fighting on Alaska Fighting Championships. That's the next goal.
They on Fight
Yes.
Pass? They are on Fight Pass. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna. I might have to watch some of those cards. See if we can find a gym.
They're all
somebody over
gems, my man. They are all gems. Oh, you know what? Shout out to God, I don't even know how the fuck to pronounce it, but I guess Batoto. Manga reading site that I've been using since I was like, well, I'm 27 now. I'm 24 now, so that'd be like since I was like 16. Because I'm cheap and I can't afford real like physical comics. And apparently they're closing down like in 3 days, so that sucks.
Oh Lord. There'll be another site like that to pop right back up the next day. Hold on, while they closing.
The person who ran it, is like, yeah, so for like the past 7 years, I've been the only person who knows how the site works. And it's constantly being like attacked by bots and like all that shit. So he's like, yeah, I'm kind of sick and tired of like having to deal with this. It's basically like a second job and I don't get any money. So peace. And he's like, I'm not gonna give it to somebody else because I don't want to give everybody's private info to some stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully another. I'm pretty sure.
There's a million of them, but this one is just like special in that like the ads are. I don't even remember the last time I saw an ad on the site. To be honest with you.
No, you don't have to deal with Wayfair. Boy, Wayfair kills me. Shout out to all the people running. If I can remember, I'll send you the one. I haven't read a manga in forever, but I was reading Attack on Titan at one point some time ago. If I can find what I was reading that on, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
But yeah, shout outs to everybody running manga sites. Especially shout out to people who run anime sites that definitely probably shouldn't be up, but you guys have helped me watch Dragon Ball Super finally. So I appreciate all of your hard work.
You can just watch on Crunchyroll, like.
See, I don't want to deal with ads.
Just get what you call it, uBlock.
Oh yeah, I could. I'm glad I watched Super. Super's actually been pretty good. I'm glad I finally.
Like all the stuff with the fighting early on was like it's whatever. But just like all this stuff for like the day to day where like they just like hang out. Like I love it.
Seeing Vegeta cook is weird. Because I'm still watching the very beginning, even though I saw the first 2 movies, so I already know this is just a rehash of that. They just drag it out. But I'm a completionist, so I have to do things from start to end. But yeah, seeing Vegeta cook beer as food and be happy about it.
I mean, he was in space all by himself a lot, so I assume he knows how to cook. But
he was
yeah. Like, and to think, only a couple years earlier, he was murdering people indiscriminately.
like this show now more than ever highlights how bad, like, we love them as his characters, but these are some terrible people. Like, Goku is not a good
Goku
father.
is a terrible. Like, Goku is the worst character in Dragon Ball Z.
This dude is a terrible father. Oh man, yeah, this show.
Oh my god, have you seen Fighters yet? Any like the fighters for the
That-
game?
Yeah, I'm actually literally after this episode is over, after you guys hear us and we close out, I'm probably gonna go to GameStop and put money down and reserve it. I'm definitely getting it.
Well, the beta's out for like I think pre-orders, but like
Yeah, people are having like 30 and 40-minute like waits to get into a
Yeah.
match. It's a good game though. Like I played the beta when it originally got announced. I got washed really bad, but I can say Piccolo's a beast in that game. Don't pick Krillin though. I picked Krillin one time and that didn't
dude,
work out.
Krillin's the best. I don't know what you're talking about.
I tried to use Krillin and I couldn't figure it out. It was not working.
But my point was during the thing, like if you win the match with Goku, you have Gohan on your team. He'll say something along the lines of, "You're getting stronger. I'm proud of you. Finally."
Oh man, you know what? Gohan deserves that. Cause oh god, he. I've never seen a character in any show ever that I can think of off the top of my head like fall off so hard.
Let the man live his life. He didn't want to be his father.
I get
His absentee
that's true.
father.
I mean, I know you gotta hit the books. I get it. You know you can't be a dummy running around
The
here.
man has a
But
kid and he's still in college, bro. Like, come on.
he needs to throw away that Great Saiyaman outfit. That needs to be burned and not be a thing
He needs to
anymore.
throw away that ugly green fucking sweatsuit that they got.
Yeah,
him
that
in.
jumpsuit has to go. That's why Frieza shot you 80 times when he showed back up. Like, he pew-pewed you until you weren't Super Saiyan anymore. I think you got a hole put through his chest.
Yeah.
Super's awesome. I can't wait to get to the tournament arc, though, because I already know how this Frieza thing plays out because I watched the movie. But that's neither here nor there. But as always, you guys can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play, iTunes. If you're on iTunes, please rate and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter @SerialSensei. If you have questions, concerns, or you're just angry and you want to vent, you can send that to Dojotalkpodcast.
Unless you're a Paige Van
at
Sant
Yahoo.
fan.
Yeah. We have no room for you over
I
here.
don't want your creepy messages about what you do the page. They're creepy.
Yeah. So you guys can calm that down. You guys can't send emails, but everybody else, feel free to send emails to Dojotalkpodcast at yahoo.com. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been another episode. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to share with a friend. As anytime, I can't even do my own outro. As always, anytime people are being punched and or kicked in the face, we will be there to talk about it. And hopefully we catch you guys soon. Peace.